introduction. I am new to this, very first time doing a show, so please be patient with me. I'm Wendy Sullivan. I'm a licensed social worker and have been doing mindfulness trainings for about 20 years. I think about mindfulness as a way of life. The purpose of mindfulness, as you can see on the screen, is the practice that's really gaining acceptance in the Western world. There's a lot of research into how mindfulness can help people manage stress, manage their anxiety, depression, emotions, pain, just a whole range of things. And mindfulness is about learning to control your attention. It helps us to notice what's going on for us. It does not help us get rid of stress. It says reducing stress. It's not so much that it reduces stress as much as it helps us learn to manage it. And as the screen says, it helps with managing emotions so the emotions don't hijack the brain. How many of us, we think about, oh, I'm not going to think about that, and whatever you decide you're not going to think about, you can't get it out of your head. Kind of like one of those children's songs that keeps going back and forth in your head. Mindfulness is a way to help you acknowledge, notice it, and start to move it on. John Kabat-Zinn was one of the teachers of mindfulness here in the United States. He's done a lot of research on mindfulness-based stress reduction for managing pain and emotions. He's out of Massachusetts, and I've had the opportunity to meet him, which has been really exciting, and get some training from him. But he says mindfulness is a way of paying attention that is intentional in the present moment without judgment. And his book is called his first book was Full Catastrophe Living, and it really focused on some exercises to help you learn to be mindful. What I'm going to do in this presentation is talk a little bit about mindfulness, give you some examples of how to do it in day-to-day life, but I'm also going to lead you through a couple brief meditations. During the meditations, I'm going to suggest that no one unmute themselves, just because it's a way to kind of get you focused. That being said, I brought, and I can't see what you're seeing on the screen, but I brought a couple bells. I brought a singing bell, and then other bells. So when we get close to the meditations, I'll explain more about that. This is a family therapist, and I had some of the kids I was working with help me set up a classic mindfulness meditation photo. And we often think of meditation as a group of people laying on the floor meditating. That being said, they're not very exciting pictures. So this is a group of meditating characters. I love this picture. I go back to it. I also have a picture, but it's not in here, of meditating peeps. Peeps are very good at meditating laying down, I gotta tell you. But in fact, mindfulness can happen anywhere. It can happen when you're sitting down. It can happen when you're driving. It actually is great when it happens when you're driving, because it means that your mindfulness, you're aware, you're focused on what's going on around you. You know, I don't know about y'all, but there have been times that I'm driving and I'm like, oh, I've never seen that house before, even though I've gone by it 50 times. The more we're mindful, the more we're aware of what our surroundings are. Mindfulness is about living in the moment. It's not about just meditating. It's about awareness moment by moment. There was a great teacher of DBT, dialectic behavioral therapist, Cindy Sanderson. She has since passed away, but she had this great quote: whatever your attention is on, that's what life is for you at any given moment. And we talk about multitasking, but in reality, what we're doing when we're multitasking is switching attention from item to item. We, we'll hear the phone ring. Do we have to do that? Do we have to do that? And really, our brain is switching back and forth. With mindfulness, it's about really being aware of what you're paying attention to. I have this picture of Mason, my grandson, because children are just so amazing with mindfulness sometimes. You ever seen them try and figure out how to put something in? A toddler trying to do a shape box, where trying to figure out what shape goes in what box. They will work at that and really be focused on it. And so we have a lot to learn from watching children. I mentioned being mindful in traffic. I love this idea of just really stopping at a stop sign, really stopping. And what you can do is focus on your breath. Take a deep breath in, hold it, then let it out. There's a calming meditation that I one time did with one of our daughter's friends. She was at the hospital and her baby had just gone off for emergency surgery. And I found her and she's kind of breathing in and sobbing and saying, Mrs. Sullivan, I can't. And then she said, and she was really hyperventilating and in a full panic. And she said, I'm going to throw up. I don't do vomit. I just got to tell you, I don't do it well. So I thought, this is not going to happen. This is early on when I was first teaching mindfulness. So I said, no, you're not, which of course made her start to gag a little more. And I had her take a deep breath, hold it for the count of 5, and then do a long, slow exhale to the count of 10. Let's all do that for a moment right now. Everyone take a deep breath, hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale to the count of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Take another deep breath, hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And one more time, just take it in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And exhale all that air out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that is suddenly back in the moment. You may even notice it in your body. You may notice that I have slowed down my rate of speech. And for those who know me, I'm a northerner who speaks fast. So even as you're doing that, just do it when you come to a stop sign. Really stop. Be in the moment. Notice the feel of your hands on the steering wheel. Notice what gear you're in if you're in a stick shift. Notice what's around you. Not only will you feel better, but it certainly would help other people who are driving near you. There's some introductory practices. So I wanna start to share some ways. We just did one. One is called Stop, Breathe, Be. At any moment, whether you're at a stoplight or in the hallway, looking at the refrigerator, just stop, breathe, be. taking 15 seconds to drop into being, getting off the autopilot of doing. Before I retired, one of the things that I would do is when the phone rang in my office, which was often, I would stop, breathe, be. I would just stop and take a breath before I answered the phone. As you maybe can imagine, I was much more effective and able to listen and be with the person I was talking to on the phone, because I took a second before I answered. Let me tell you, my office phone did not have a way to know who was calling, so you never knew what was coming in. And so it made me much more effective to be able to just, we don't have to answer on the first ring. And what drives my daughter crazy is we don't have to answer all the time. So if we're doing something that we feel like we can't be interrupted, most of our cell phones have answering machines, or I guess they're not answering machines, answering programs. And so if I'm doing something, I have learned with mindfulness to make choices about whether to react. We use a lot of poems in mindfulness. I like John O'Donohue, who was a Jesuit priest in Ireland. I would love to live like a river flows, carried by the surprise of its own unfolding. I would love to live like a river flows, carried by the surprise of its unfolding. Many of the folks on this are master gardeners, and so I like to use nature for things to meditate. And some of you are old enough to remember transcendental meditation. I know it's still around, but that was a program that people would use a mantra to get into a meditation. With mindfulness, we tend to focus on our breath because our breath is with us all the time. And when it isn't, we don't have to worry. So I'm going to lead you through a meditation. I'm going to ring the bell 3 times. Use these bells kind of as a way to get you into the meditation. And so I want you to get comfortable, either sitting, probably most of you are sitting in a dignified sitting position. And if you feel comfortable closing your eyes, if you don't, you can look at this flower. It's a pretty amazing daylily from Rochester, New York. And just allow yourself to settle into your seat. So ring the bell 3 times at the beginning and 3 times at the end. Settling into this moment, this being here, just as it is. This moment, this being here. Maybe noticing any thoughts that are going on in your head right now. Seeing if you can let them go and bring your focus to your breath. This breath, this being here. You might notice the rise and fall of your chest or your abdomen as you breathe. Or you might not, knowing there's no one way to focus on your breath. Just allowing yourself to breathe. Some people find it helpful to count the breath. Now I'm breathing in 1. Now I'm breathing in 2. up to 10 and starting over, or not. You might notice that your body knows how to do this breathing stuff without you doing anything. Just being aware of your breath, moment by moment, breath by breath. Just being here. And if you'd like, expanding your focus beyond your breath to the soundscape, noticing sounds as they come into your awareness without needing to understand them or make sense of them. Just allowing the sounds to drift across your awareness as though they're clouds on a summer sky. This breath, this moment, these sounds, just as they are. And now shifting your focus, awareness of sensations in your being. Just noticing any sensations, maybe the feel of the chair beneath your buttocks or against your back, the air on your skin, sensations within you, pleasant or unpleasant. And the key here is to notice them without changing them, without needing to change them. Just noticing the sensations as they are in this moment. Now letting go of the sensations and coming back to your breath. Notice how you bring your awareness to your breath, this moment, without judgment. This breath, this moment, this being here just as it is. Noticing when your mind gets distracted, maybe thoughts of, oh, I'm not doing this right. Just noticing those thoughts and acknowledging them, that they are what they are. They're just thoughts. And bringing your focus back to your breath. This breath, this moment, this being here. You're all champion meditators. That was 5 minutes of gentle meditation. You may have noticed your brain, we call it a monkey brain because it jumps around. And our brains, the idea is not that we get rid of all the thoughts. The idea is we notice what we're thinking. We'll say, I'm not doing this right because I'm thinking. Well, you're doing it right because the minute you notice a thought, that you're having a thought, you're right back into being mindful. So thoughts are normal. I think about years ago, probably in the early 80s, my brother-in-law was, he's a musician. He's still a musician, but he was composing on a computer. And in those days, computers were huge and they had big rooms for themselves. And, it was all pretty new for those of us who are older. And he came back from the college. He had been at the computer where he had been doing the composing, and he's really he's very bright and very aware of things, and hears sounds and music that I don't hear. But he said what he noticed is the computer was not being used all the time because again that was in the early days of the big computers at colleges and all. And he said the computer couldn't sit there by itself, not doing anything. So when it wasn't running a program, it would count 1, 2, 3, and that's what our brains do. They can't. They're these computers. They can't not think. And so even though we try and kind of focus, the key to mindfulness is being aware of what we're thinking and when we're thinking. Oh, I just had that thought. It's I call it kind of mental tai chi. Instead of pushing those thoughts away, we notice them, and we may call a thought a thought. Oh, look, I'm having a thought, and I'm having another thought. That's part of being mindful, is being aware of when you're thinking. And we all do this. I used to run a group in Rochester on Tuesday nights, and I would be leading the meditation. And I was aware one night we were going to have, it was after Katrina, so it was 15 years ago, having just celebrated or just remembered, I guess celebration's the wrong word, 15 years since Katrina. And we were doing a fundraiser that weekend to send money down to help people from Katrina. And I was in charge of the food. And I suddenly became aware as I was leading a meditation that I was doing the grocery list in my head. Now, I was in front of a group leading a meditation. It's not like I could even sit and write down that list. It was just going through my head. But once I realized I was kind of ruminating about these thoughts, about these ingredients, then I could say, wait a minute, I don't need to be thinking about that right now, and turn my focus back to what I was doing. So again, it's very normal. Breath awareness, this is a simple meditation. I'm not going to lead you through it, but this is very similar to what we were doing. The breath awareness for 3 to 5 minutes, or even longer if you want. These slides, by the way, will be available, but if there's one that you like and you're on your phone, feel free to do a photo of it or whatever. But they are going to be available on a share drive if there's any that you want to go back to. But again, this is one of those, now I'm breathing in 1, now I'm breathing in 2, and counting again, aware of the physical sensations, the breath coming in and out, aware of where you notice your breath, aware of the thoughts that go through. Oh man, that breath was really, short. That was a long breath, whatever. You might even get to the point where you notice there's a moment between one breath and the other that nothing's happening. Again, each person is different, no right or wrong way. And then we talk about the different kinds. I mentioned the mantra. Guided meditation is that's the opposite of mindfulness, because guided meditation is going away from where you are. Mindfulness is about coming to awareness of where you are, this moment, this being here. The breath awareness we talked a little bit about. Body scan. Body scan is where you're really kind of checking out what's going on in your body. One of the things that we know with people who have pain is we can get, all of us, this happens to everyone, you can get really focused. So they're like my hand in front of my face, that's all you see. You're focused on pain. Oh, my knee hurts, it's going to last forever. With mindfulness, it's about moving the focus away. We can often tolerate a little bit of pain for a moment. But as soon as we start to think about, oh, this pain for the rest of my life is overwhelming. we can catastrophize. A body scan is a way to check out what's going on with you. You know, you may have pain in your knee, but if you focus on your big toe, you'll notice that there's no pain in that big toe. So again, a body scan is used a lot for pain management to expand your experience beyond what's going on with the pain. Doesn't mean the pain goes away, it changes your experience of it. Some people do meditation sitting. We just did a sitting meditation. Sensory meditation. Those are kind of fun. Those can be, you know, we all eat meals. And I'm sure some of you have had the experience of you sit down to an amazing meal and you want to enjoy it. And the next thing you know, your plate's gone. Your plate's cleared. And so sensory is really noticing your food. Notice the colors, notice the texture, notice the smells. Really allowing yourself to slow down and take each bite. Another sensory, I mentioned the gardening. If we went back to that flower, you can notice that the colors are different. This is a hybrid, and I forget the name of it. My friend told me, but she said they worked together, she and her husband, Judy and Charlie, to make different daylilies. And this one, and the neat thing about a daylily is it only lasts for a day. It's a moment in time. But you can see the colors, there are some smells. There's actually many daylilies are edible, but don't count on me to, don't trust me to take any food. You do want to make sure it's not something that's been sprayed. But, you know, there's lots of ways out in nature, really walk. Another meditation that I didn't mention is a walking meditation. Notice the steps you take to walk out to the car in the morning. You don't have to do this slow, although slow can be fun. When we were doing the training years ago, my husband and I were in a class and we were doing walking meditation. There must have been 100 of us at this popular camp, and we looked like a bunch of zombies walking around in a field, and we, you know, just slowly. And then they said, you know, you don't have to walk slowly. If you're working with children, have them walk like an elephant. Notice what part of your foot touches the ground. Try going up the stairs, reversing. If you usually step off with your right foot, notice what foot you step off with the stairs, and try doing it the other way. You notice where your foot lands. I'm down here on the Gulf Coast. Most of you are. And so what we're going to do now is do a loving kindness meditation. Are there any questions? You can send them in the chat. Uh-oh, I don't know if the chat's open here. I'm going to call for help. Christian? How do I get the chat window up?
How do you get the chat window up?
Yeah.
Find the cursor first, and it's on a white background, so that's, oh, there it is. Chat.
Okay. Anyone have any questions so far? Any concerns? Don't see any. Okay. So we'll go ahead and do a loving kindness meditation. And I like this meditation for a lot of reasons, but one is in these times that are particularly stressful, again, it's not about getting rid of the stress, it's about managing it. And loving kindness meditation, Sharon Salzberg was at a training I went to, and she talked about it's about changing our relationship to our emotions. And so as we go through this, it's a way to change how you see the world. So again, get back into a comfortable position. Sitting, you can close your eyes or keep them open. I put this on the screen so you have something that if you want to look, you can, but again, it's not necessary. The so get yourself comfortable. I'll ring the bell 3 times, and at the beginning and again at the end. Um, this is the thinking with the 3 bells is kind of the first one is to say, hey, it's time. The second one is to take your seat. And the third ring is to settle into the meditation. Settling into this moment, this being here, bringing your focus to your breath, this moment, this being here, just as it is, without judgment or concern. When you're ready, opening your heart with loving kindness to yourself. We start with ourselves because often we don't pay enough attention to ourselves. So, opening our hearts with loving kindness to this moment, to ourselves, thinking words something like this: may I be safe. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be healthy. May I care for myself with joy and ease. May I care for myself with joy and ease. May I care for myself with joy and ease. And opening our hearts a little more, bringing to mind someone you care about, holding them in your heart as you think words something like this: may you be safe. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be healthy. May you care for yourself with joy and ease. May you care for yourself with joy and ease. Now, opening our hearts a little more, our hearts can really open up, bringing to mind someone we're annoyed with. Doesn't have to be someone you know personally. Someone doesn't have to be the worst person, or it could be. Just holding them in your mind's eye, holding them in your heart. Our hearts can be this big. Thinking words like this, may you be safe. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be healthy. May you care about yourself with joy and ease. May you care for yourself with joy and ease. And opening our hearts a little more. To all living beings, known and unknown. You might want to start in your own community, family, our state, our country. All living beings, known and unknown. Our hearts really can be this big. May each of you, may all of you, may you be safe. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be healthy. As healthy as you can be. May you care for yourself with joy and ease. May you care for yourself with joy and ease. May each of you, may all of you, may you care for yourself with joy and ease. opening our hearts a little more, because our hearts have the capacity for more. Holding ourselves and each other, all living beings, including all of us here on this call. May each of us, may all of us, we're all in this together. May we all be safe. May we be safe. May we be happy. May we be happy. May each of us be as healthy as is possible for us. May we be healthy. May we be healthy. May we care for ourselves and each other with joy and ease. May we care for ourselves. May we care for ourselves with joy and ease. May we care for ourselves with joy and ease. May we carry this open-heartedness with us beyond this meditation. And here's the, if you're opening your eyes, here's the loving kindness meditation, essentially what I've just done. I want to thank you for attending this program. I'm going to